And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 308. So I hope you guys had a great day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we have one topic for you guys tonight. And that is going to be on DC Comics cancels Red Hood series after writer celebrates Charlie Kirk's death. So that's going to be the only topic for this episode of the MSK show. But before we get into that, because we're only going to go for like an hour and some change because Professor Savage Dad has to go to bed, go to work in the morning. How dare you have a wife and kids and go to work? You should just give your resources to me. You should work for me, and all of your, what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours, right? That's basically communism.
Spend it all on gas station hot wings and Little Caesar's pizza.
Do you know what's crazy? The more I learned about that saying growing up, because people would say that, when you're like in kindergarten, like what's like sharing and what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. Saying what's yours is mine, what's mine is your guys is communism. Like that's like no. This is how life should work. I work for whatever I have, and you work for whatever you have. You keep your own shit. That's how it should work. And what's crazy, dude? Like, how like they have these Jubilee debates with like 20 college liberals versus one conservative Republican. And then I think PPB asked her, hey, I'm rich enough. I can give you a ticket right now to any of the communist countries right now for you to live. And she was like, no, I'm not going to go there. But these are the same people that crash on America every single day.
Well, this is the thing. You have to realize that when it comes to people talking about communism in college, there's no true Scotsman. There's no such thing as actual communism. It's never been tried before, not really.
Unless you want to count North Korea, and no one wants to go live there.
No, they don't believe that. That's not real communism to them either.
Like, maybe Venezuela then?
Nope, they don't even believe that that's real communism. I mean, they know that it is for the sake of argument because they know that it fails everywhere it's tried, or it devolves into a dictatorship for the most part. I mean, the idea of communism is used to incite violence to inevitably wrest control of a country away from its people and its democratic systems. That's what the result of communism is. That is the purpose for its existence. That is how it's used in actuality, not in
well, there's the other part of it,
pretend of it.
That to tackle onto your point, which is I remember reading a part of that Communist Manifesto by that one guy, and he had clearly stated that he wanted life to get to a point where resources can be shared amongst everyone, so that it's basically just like the whole. He wanted society to get like this utopia, but society can never work like that because everyone always acts in their own self-interest. It just will literally never work. It's the mindset that is just flawed from just the logic itself. It can't work.
It's what he says, but in practice, that's not what it is. And that's not even, that isn't even, that's what Marx wrote in a book. That wasn't Marx's intent. The intent of communism, the intent of collectivism writ large is a method with which to try to control the populace so that they will do what a select few powerful, generally wealthy people want you to do, or what the military wants you to do, what somebody else wants you to do, so they can use you to usurp control over something. It's used to foment revolution and other things like that. The end result of it is an oligarchy is instituted, and those families, reign terror over the populace for generations. Does everybody share in everything? Yes, they share in the scraps that are left off the party's table. And that's the way it's been everywhere it's instituted. And when there's too many people to share amongst themselves the scraps from the party's table, well, that's when they genocide things. And that is in actuality what the result of communism is. Nothing that they've blown up and that's all pretty in the books and everything else. The result of communism is that. That's what the result has always been of communism. Everywhere anybody who seems to be relatively indoctrinated in it tried it. The People's Revolution results in a government that, for the most part, kills them in the end. That's what it always results in. They always say it's never true communism because that would never happen in real communism. And it's like, there's no such thing as real communism. Even as it was written, communism.
So I was having this conversation with a friend, with a coworker a few days ago. We were talking about all the different ones. So socialism. So like how would socialism play to that? So socialism, isn't it more like practices in like governments and businesses, right? From what I understand, that's how I
It
always thought it
it
was.
socialism as let's see, there's a good quote on this that we can do really quickly here. Let's see.
Like, everyone has, it's like may the best man win kind of thing. Like that's what capitalism basically is, which I think is a much
That's what capitalism is, but what was it? Stalin's doctrine always held that socialism could be completed in Russia, but its final victory cannot be guaranteed. Lenin threat. No, that was not the one. I'm looking for the one like what the purpose of socialism was. So Stalin said
because people
socialism
that
was
said that we take a lot of socialist ideas and use them. I'm like, do we?
yeah,
I
well,
think
that's
we
I mean
do.
our government taxation is, and it isn't that we yes, and we use them as about it as ineffectively as anything else. Look at our taxes. Look, our taxes go to these government programs. You could call them the projects. You could call it state health care,
Food stamps, yeah.
food stamps. And what does all of that really how well is all of that run at the end of the day? You could even call that shit like the DMV, like all of these places that are these
Would you
social
count the post office in that? Because that's technically government ran.
would. It's never in the black. The post office is a money suck on our taxes, more so now than ever because for the most part, Amazon doesn't even barely use the post office anymore. They ship their own shit. Like
Yeah.
post office is just another, it's something they somewhat privatized, but not entirely. But it was it's and people call these socialist ideals. It's like no, these are just government ideals that they use taxation to pay for. And
Yeah.
most of this shit isn't any good at all. And this is the thing, and they learned really hard what it looks like when you have the government have control over these things like food stamps.
Yeah. Because I
They're
think the
bitching
mindset
left and
on
right
it,
because they took soda off it.
yeah, because I think the mindset on it is they think let's just because the average idiot thinks like, hey, let's just throw more money at it and that will solve the problem. When in reality, it's like if you couldn't solve the problem with all the money that you got, then why would more money solve it? Like, didn't they give Gavin Newsom like $24 billion to end the homeless crisis in California? And then he was asked where the money went to and he didn't know. It's like, how does spending more money on something that they already get enough money for fix the problem? They've already proven to be incompetent with the money, right? It's like, why are we giving these incompetent people more money for things that they're not already doing good at all?
Yeah.
Michael says that's wrong about Amazon. Actually, it depends on the area. UPS delivers Amazon in my
USPS
area.
delivers Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Like in large cities,
Different, probably. Yeah.
they use some. I mean, and even here, there'll occasionally be something that comes from the mail, but the vast majority of stuff in large cities is delivered by Amazon directly anymore. There's a massive hit to USPS. But either way, they've never really operated in the black. They operate subsidized by the American people. But to be fair, it's probably one of the better ish run, except for their retirement program, pieces of the government. But everything else that the government ever touches is usually shit. That's why they're called the projects. Those are government projects. The projects are subsidized
Section
by
8
the
housing.
government.
Yeah.
All Section 8 housing, always crap. And it destroys neighborhoods. Every area they've ever put Section 8 housing into turns into a ghetto. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what race is here. There's plenty of white ghettos here just fucking north of me where there's Section 8 housing. It's ghetto because it brings in a lower class of people, and they tend to have more crime in lower class communities. That is just an unfortunate fact of the reality of society. It doesn't matter if they're even more so on the government dole than not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all just it's poorly run things by people who we don't have experts that work in government who make
No, that's
money.
why
If
they
they
have
were
to
any
be
good at their
elected
job,
out.
yeah.
It's
Well,
crazy.
if they were any good at their jobs, they'd be working out actually for a for-profit company that wants them, and they would make money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Most people who work in government are lazy.
I wish people would
I
actually
worked
look up the
for a
words.
very long time. It's
Yeah.
why I stopped.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wish people would actually look up the term deficit spending. It's something that the government, a lot of them, actively do on purpose.
Yep.
just and then they want all of your money because you bail them out. It's
While
just.
they encourage us to deficit spend ourselves. Yeah, the whole fucking thing runs on debt. There's no real money there at all.
But people always told me they get to print more money. Yeah, I mean you could, but they won't do that because
Well, yeah,
that'd be
you
the
can
smart
just
thing to
print
do.
more money and then your money becomes worthless. And then you turn into Venezuela,
Yeah,
where like
yeah.
one Venezuelan dollar is like fucking 10 million American dollars.
So you're saying if I went to Venezuela right
Hyperinflation.
now, I'd be a millionaire, essentially, billionaire?
No, there's still an exchange rate. Like it costs them, $100,000 for an apple or something in Venezuelan dollars. Look at like the price differences even in Japan. Look at how much their currency inflated. Their
Oh
currency
yeah,
inflated huge. Like Asian currencies are hyperinflated.
yeah.
I was watching the first and you see how intense that is. You see, I was watching the Vietnam episode of Top Gear, and they were given like what was it like and they went to Vietnam, and they were given like 200,000 dong, which is what Vietnamese money is called. It's called dong, and they were trying to like buy anything for this money. I'm pretty sure it might have even been 1,000,000 dong, but like they went around to find cars, and the guy's like, "Oh no 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 no, these cost 200 million billion dong." I'm like, "Fuck." And it wasn't even a nice car. It was like a bone stock Fiat or some cheap piece of shit. And it was like, damn, that's some crazy inflation. And inflation actually goes quite hand in hand with socialist countries. A lot of socialist countries, in order to try to, as they try to make their economies live, they hyperinflate, and it doesn't necessarily work out. That's why most socialist countries, the majority of their populace have a far lower standard of living than most Americans, by far.
And before we get to the topic of this episode of the MSK show, I wanted to ask you a few things. So we haven't had you on the show besides the 300 episode special where everyone was celebrating me because
There's only
obviously
been 8 episodes since then. I thought there'd been more.
Oh wow! So you're basically saying that's light work. Okay, not gonna have 10
Yeah,
episodes.
man. I thought you took like a break or something. I'm like, man, 8th episode. I was just on 8 episodes ago. Usually, if I took like a week off, man, I'm on episode 30 or something.
So, Comicsgate, because we've been talking about Comicsgate in forever. It's like these people are utterly insane because at this point now, because the last time we talked, I think Ethan hadn't launched that Cyberfrog Meets World double issued book with that other like horrible art other series he's trying to get on, because he says he always does books with like he always launches campaigns with 2 books, but then we had that Pit trade get launched on Indiegogo. I think it's from Mandy, but Mandy hasn't even finished shipping out like Gymshock #1. It's like I'll be honest here, because we had an interaction on Twitter before she blocked me and I blocked her, where I asked her, hey, could you have not done this by yourself? Because, Ethan was always talking about grabbing ore and help and all that shit. And then he would like the next day go like, yeah, these smaller indie creators are backstabbers. They're worthless. But then the next day he would say like grab an ore. That's why I never could take anything he says seriously. Because like one day he'll say like red is his favorite color. Then the next day he'll say it's black. Then the next day say it's blue. Then go back to saying it's red. You guys can understand what I'm saying. And then it got to this point where like Mandy was like, I couldn't have done it without my friends. I could never have got to the position that I got to without any of the help. And I'm starting to think like, but what do you know how
Which position would that have been? Getting her back blown out?
And it's also one of these things. Okay, she writes the books and she promotes them. Okay, that's valuable to a certain extent, but it's like all of what you have comes from other people promoting you. So like it's because she gets to be in a position like a nerd sphere where she's a decent she's a girl. I'll just say that she's a girl in a nerd space.
Yeah.
You know how that goes with nerds. They all gravitate to that one girl. They try to date her, bang her.
She's
anything.
a solid 7. She does
that's
2-finger inserts on the backstages after a show. Like, yeah, she's gonna get shit for free and get attention. She bought fake boobs. I mean, yeah, she's gonna get attention from nerd guys. These guys don't know any better. They don't know that they're just being fleeced for shit, for art, for whatever else it is. And that's the funny thing.
Are you saying a 7 with makeup or without makeup? Because
I'm saying like a 7. I'm saying a 7, a solid 7, as you see her on stream.
See,
no, if you take I've seen the no makeup, no fake tits, the fucked up tooth and shit. Like, no, like she does drop off a cliff a bit. You know, all she is thin at that point, and I'm sorry, that just isn't enough.
I would say
Meh.
altogether and personality wise, that bitch is like a 4.
Oh,
Maybe.
if you
That's
count
pushing it.
personality wise,
Personality, it's like a 3. If you count 3 to 4 max, that's what I would say.
yeah, she's just if you put personality in, she's completely disinteresting. Like I usually like an accent like that, but like I don't know, she's just the way she speaks is annoying. It isn't the accent that's the problem. It's like the way she talks about things is incredibly annoying. Yeah, I'm too old to put up with that. Some younger men could probably deal with that, but
Well, these are desperate comic book nerds that wouldn't have
it
any
is.
girl look their way anyway, you know? Like
She
these are
doesn't either. Isn't she married
well, this
supposedly
happens
or
in
some
like
shit?
I wanted because I was gonna say
Or
this to you to
dating
add to
Dale or some shit?
because I was gonna say this to add to my point just a second ago. Like this happens in other nerd spaces too. If there's like a single
It
girl in a
happens in
group,
all nerd spaces.
guys will just give them free shit. Dude, I've seen in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, guys literally give girls $100 cards to start their decks. $100 cards, it's just straight up free.
Oh yeah. No, dudes. Well, this is the thing. Every nerd space has that. Will have a girl, and you know what? I'll say that like it's a girl who looks out of place, and she could probably do just fine somewhere else. But like she could do just fine as an okay. She'd be doing all right. But in that space, she's the fucking queen.
Yeah, you get to
She's
be
she's
amplified to like
crazy.
god tier. If you're
Yeah.
the only girl, yeah.
Well, not just that the only girl, even if you're like a 7, like she is when she as she appears on screen, she's a 7.
Good lord.
You know, but that's you show up like that to like the fucking anime con. To those guys, you're a fucking 12. You're already off their chart. Like, especially if you talk to them. And that's the thing. You don't even have to have a personality. You just have to acknowledge they exist and ignore the sweat smell and move on through your day. And that's where Mandy is at. I don't know if anybody's even talked about the Gem Shock book. It didn't look interesting to me. It looked like a book for girls, so some
Yeah,
girl probably
her
read it. I don't know.
character looked like a ripoff of Emma Frost. And I'll be honest with everybody. When people do say this
Dude, her
criticism in
character
comic
was a
books,
self-insert. Like that
oh,
character was straight up self-insert.
but this is something that I think a lot of people that read comics should know. There's guys are going to be a lot of characters that take inspiration from another character. It's just going to happen. That's just how things are created. But it just didn't like the art looked fine. It didn't look that bad. It looked
Who did the
passable.
art on it?
I'm pretty sure Dale Keown did it. I'm pretty
Was
sure
it
he did it.
Dale? Oh.
Maybe it was. But
I
like
mean, if you get to watch something backstage, sure, why not draw 32 pages
allegedly
for free?
like
No, not even. I think she did pay him, not just with the fingers, but like
maybe it was
actual
Kyle
money,
Ritter.
like,
I think
she
Kyle
got a
Ritter did the
discount
book.
rate. Kyle Ritter, okay.
He might have did it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I
The
don't,
person
who
that she
knows
was
what he said.
alleged doing things with first, But the other thing I
At
was
this
going to
point,
ask,
she's been alleged with just about everybody over there.
did you see that update that Ethan made on his Rainbow the Brute Indiegogo campaign?
Oh yeah, well I get emailed on it. I still haven't necessarily asked for a refund. In all honesty, I think Ethan needs the money more than I do. He's got a gambling addiction. He's got probably some form of diabetes, in addition to a heart condition. I mean, he's got these health issues that have kept him from drawing for so long that I'm surprised they haven't taken one of his feet by now with the diabetes. But
Eric says, I backed Gem Shock because Dale Keown was doing a story on it. Yeah, I remember his name was on it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten it. Of course you aren't. Of course you
yeah,
aren't.
well, dude,
it's
on the what is it, Cyberfrog 2 Dark Harvest fucking release schedule. You'll probably be able to pick it up on eBay in about a week or two.
Well, it's because I think happened? She spent a lot of the money, maybe on life expenses too, and she's using the Pit trade paperback money to fulfill Gem Shock #1.
Nobody is buying that thing. You can buy that shit on. I'm gonna go to eBay right now. I'm gonna see how much the entire run of the Pit cost.
Oh, dude,
right,
pennies on the dollar. It maybe get you like what, less than $20? Could probably get you all 20 issues.
I never read the Pit. I saw it. It was interesting, but it was like so much like all the other Image stuff at the time. Like it didn't stand out. Or was it Image, or was it some other indie thing? I can't remember where he published Pit first, but it was there were other indie books that looked exactly like that character. Let's see.
But there are Pit trades out there that exist right now. Like there's on my comic shop on my comicshop.com, they have Pit trade paperback volume 1, volume 2. You have the second printing, I think, of volume 1. It's like there's nothing special. Like the thing that would make it special is if he was doing like, special covers for them, or he would do like a new
No,
comic book story
he
in
took a
them.
trading card that Michael Turner did and blew it up and turned it into a cover. Like rescanned it. Like it's so cheesy. So if I wanted, let's see, how many issues are in this compendium he's releasing? Is
Let
it the
me
whole thing?
No, it's gonna
I thought
collect,
it
I
was just a
think
few issues.
total of 4 issues, I think.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have
You're
much. Yeah, I'll show you right
kidding
now.
me.
I'll show you right now.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I can get 4 issues of Pit right
Pit
now
Volume 1 right here.
for
I'll bring it up right now.
$9 on eBay. $9. I don't know what the quality is of them though.
Let me show you guys right here. Yeah, okay. So Eric, this is a good point you bring up. People in Comicsgate would say Pit is Pit this, Pit that. Guys, I mean, I would only know about Pit when since I've been doing this. Pit's not a character that people
It did have
clamor for.
it had 20 issues. Okay.
Yeah, remember if you look it up, it only has like a 20 issue run. So this
I can get the
Pit
first
Volume
12
1
for $80
Yeah,
in very fine and near mint 9.0 conditions.
So this Pit Volume 1 that Mandy's launching has issues 1.5 and issues 1, 2, or 1.5, or however the fuck you pronounce that. Then issue 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have a combination of just basically 5.5 issues, and it has
That's insane.
630 backers.
So the 1/2
it's got
comic
81K.
Yeah, the funny thing about the 1/2 issues though is that they were those Wizard exclusives you paid $20 for, and in all honesty, that was $20 in like fucking 1995 money, dude. That's like $50 today. They were. I got a few of them, but they were not like.
You can find this Pit stuff in dollar bins, I would imagine.
Here
in the 90s, they overprint everything.
Oh yeah, this was way overprinted, dude. You would see a stack as thick as.
Yeah, remember he's known for Hulk more. He's not even really known for Pit like that.
Well, yeah. Well, look at what the Pit is. I mean, let's really be honest.
I think it might be an ash can. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, because it says 1.5. Usually for that, it's like
maybe it is
like one of those preview books or whatever.
I'm looking at a set that has it here. Let's see, full bleed. Oh yeah, so this was full bleed comics. This was so fun. This is basically Cyber Frog. But like, look at this. Look at this. I'm putting one here in the chat for you now. Look at this.
Okay.
How much are they charging for Dale's Indiegogo right now?
Let me go back. Really quickly.
Let's look at that.
Okay, let me go back really quickly. Yeah. So logo Volume 1 cover B, $45.
Okay, so but that's for 4 issues. So for $100, you can get the first 14 issues and the 1/2 and the blood issue, I guess. Like if you really want it, you can get so much more of it. But if we're looking for 1 through 4, let's see. Let me go back here.
Yeah, because on eBay, the links you gave me, those guys are gonna, upcharge. But I imagine these are in dollar bins. You could really go find if you really want them.
Oh yeah, and they're probably upcharging simply because this is out there right now, and think, maybe I'll get somebody else looking. But look, here you go. First 4 issues right here. Look how much this guy wants. That's the 4 issues, 1 through 4, right there. The stuff you actually need.
The second link you sent, or the third one? Or so it'd be the third one.
The most recent one I just dropped, so third. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. There it is. $24.99. There you go. And let's be fair. The Pit is just it's a Hulk ripoff. I mean, it looks like the Hulk. All these things that he's drawn, all these poses, all of this is just the Hulk with long hair.
Yeah. Just 24. Yeah, and keep in mind, you could literally go to any comic book shop that sells a bunch of back issues and find this, because I guarantee you, since it was from the 90s, that's when the boom happened. Everything is overprinted in the 90s, unless it's a really rare issue that they only made. I
can't believe they've made that much off of that already.
Maybe it's.
I would hope that people are paying for it because they actually think it'll release as well. But you got to figure he's already got all this shit sitting around somewhere.
Dude, look at this right here. Look at this retailer pack cover B. Nobody claimed. Look at this. Nobody claimed these retailer packs.
Yeah, they're not coming for it. They don't care. Retailers don't care because they can't spend money on this shit. Margins are tight as shit at retailers. They're not buying this stuff. Like it's hard to sell. Like I've got a bunch of the first 3 issues of Vaughn's comic that I'm gonna take to some stores and I'm gonna give it to him and say, hey, like if you like this, like reach out to my guy, talk to him, or whatever, just to see. But
So Eric,
I don't know.
After the Pit Omnibus drama that went on between her and Dale and the other guys, she said that they're just going to release all of the issues in trade paperback format. Then at the very end, when they're all done in trades, then do an omnibus. That's what she said. Now, is it going to get that far? And even when it does get that far, is she going to still be able to fulfill all that because she's still late on Gem Shock #1 or whatever, from to my understanding? I don't know. So they said instead of doing an omnibus, they could just do trade paperbacks because that would be a lot more easy. It's like, why not just do a whole compendium? Keep in mind, because you said, I know, Eric, you mentioned that Pitt only had 20 issues. Just make a compendium. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's because
why are they calling it an omnibus?
Money. If they did this one thing, they wouldn't be able to sell it for as much as they're going to be able to sell these 5 omni trades or whatever the hell it is they want to call them. They're going to make more money out of doing it this way. They're going to charge $45 a pop. Nobody's coming in and paying, what would that be for an omnibus altogether? Like $200? Nobody's going to pay for that.
So
they'll
here,
have to sell an omnibus pretty cheap.
Yeah, right here you sent this link on eBay, like the Pit Lot run of 5 comic books.
Best offer. I should offer $7 and see if I can get it all.
If you offer $8, he probably give you them all. Look, it's right here. You guys can get the same issues that she wants you to pay $45 for in that trade are right here. Now, the only thing that I will say that can be a bang for your buck is people go, but I want to read them in more of a collected edition format. Cool. You can go get the trade right now. There's Pit trades that exist right now that you can buy right now without waiting like about a year or two, because the fulfillment date on that campaign is like next year and like July, I think, or some shit. So even if you want to get it in a different collected edition format, you could literally just go buy it in that format right now, unless you don't want to spend that much money. Because let me type it up right now. Pit trade paperback. Let's see, because so on eBay it's a little bit upcharged. Let's try Amazon. Let's see what it offers.
I sent an offer for $7. If I get it, MSK, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna read it and we're gonna review it.
What if I
we're gonna call it the Pit Omnibus Review. We're gonna go into the future and review it today. We'll drop it.
I never read Pit.
I mean it too. I'll send it to you. I'll get, because I don't care about these fucking things. So when I'm done with them, I'll send them over to you.
Why can't I just shit on them?
You can do that too. You can wipe your butt with it if you want. I don't know. It's $7. It's not as much as toilet paper costs. If they give it to me for $7, I'm down.
Anthony asked you a question. He says, Savage, I'm a big fan of werewolves and vampires and old wet stuff. What complete omnibuses do you recommend when it comes to independent stuff?
Vampires. So I don't know if I have an omnibus that I could recommend, but if you can find, and I have actually the second issue of this coming. It's not an omnibus, but it's actually a really good kind of, who was this? It was Kelly Jones and Matt Wagner. And I know they're pros, but this is an independent thing that they've done. Actually, Kelly Jones, as far as I know, him and his wife followed me. They would talk back and forth a little bit. They were active in the community space a little bit, but I don't know. They disappeared. But Kelly's kind of an interesting creative guy. But either way, the point I was getting to, I'm not sure what you mean by old wet stuff. But this book here, Dracula, this was the kind of an origin, a retelling of it. So if you want to get into something that's pretty cool, it's a good hardcover. It was thick. The second issue is coming out. I think you might still be able to pick these up from Orlock Press or check out Orlock Press on Kickstarter. It was a good story. I actually did enjoy it quite a bit. It was just a good kind of origin of Dracula. They kind of blend Vlad the Impaler and how he ends up becoming Dracula. The second one is coming out soon. It's called, this one was called Book 1, The Impaler. Book 2 is The Wives. So Dracula had the Brides of Dracula or whatever. So, or was it The Brides? Maybe it was The Brides. I don't remember, but that comes out soon. It was actually really good. I'm trying to think of some. I mean, Blade is an obvious one. I'm trying to think of who had great runs on Blade, though. I had not read a ton of Blade stuff. Werewolves.
Give me one
Trying to
second,
think of a good
guys.
werewolf one.
Okay, so I found it right here. So okay, so this is where it comes into play with all this pit stuff, right? So the older trade paperbacks from everything that I've seen right now, it just depends because, IRL, when you go around to these older comic book shops, they'll probably let this go for way cheaper just to get it off their hands because it probably doesn't sell. You can get the pit first trade. Because I hit, buy it now and I hit USA only. So my comic shop has trade paperback 2. This guy right here has Pit by Dale Keown, trade paperback number 1. Now, this is what
How
comes
are
into play.
those selling more for more than the floppies? That's wild. They must have been very limited. That's
so
more
the original
than the
Pit
floppies.
trade paperbacks must have been not getting printed enough. Those must have
they definitely weren't.
They just had a limited print run.
Dude, I'm picking up how many issues are in that there. What does it say?
It doesn't really say. Yeah, it doesn't say. Fucking hell.
I was gonna say I'm getting 5 issues for $7 potentially. Like that's
so it actually makes more sense to buy the single issues. Yeah.
Yeah, just go buy the individual floppies.
Good
like
Lord,
I said,
yeah.
If I get that $7, if I get those for $7, we're gonna review that. We'll call it exactly the Dale Keown campaign, like whatever he's got the campaign called. We're gonna call it the review of that campaign, but it'll just be the books that came out with it.
I don't think I've ever seen you here. But if you're new here, then subscribe. Shalom and good to see you all. Oh, nice to meet you. If you're new here,
good to see you. There you go.
Nice to meet you. Phenomenal Nova review first. Yes, soon. But I have to get to
ladies
this.
and gentlemen. I've been trying. I bring it up in the chat all the time. MSK hasn't found it. He lost it under his bed, which is that shelf of comics over
there. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Hopefully you're doing pretty good, man. The world's gone through some pretty crazy shit recently. It's crazy. In the UK, a guy retweeted something and gave someone allegedly anxiety, and that got him a few days in jail. This is how you know Europe is trash. Europe is straight garbage.
I could get a number of people arrested for that right now, but I'm a straight white 40-year-old male. Nothing matters as far as my life is concerned. Nothing much has necessarily changed. I'm still too busy, too stressed out, etc.
Oh, God. So let me make sure I have this person's name. Okay, so the person's name was, good Lord, Gretchen.
You mean that guy?
Gretchen Felker Martin. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I have this name.
Martin.
I'm gonna make sure I have this name typed into the private chat. That way, I don't freaking forget the name when we're doing the video. We're gonna do the video right now because after the video, he has to go to bed. So I'm gonna put this in the private chat right now. Hit enter, and then we're gonna be good to go. MSK said Shalom. I think
Shalom.
The trade has issues 1 through 4. So
yeah, I'm getting the floppies cheaper than that trade is. That trade was probably ultra short printed.
Yeah. So the original trades from what I can gather were ultra short printed, but the single issues were printed decently heavily. That's what I gather from just the small amount of research that I did. Professor, you need a distressor. Check out the latest video from
believe me, WZ, I saw that. That one's been going around. We have this we've been saying 2 generations from now, MSK is going to be discovered, and his avant-garde style of podcasting is going to leave him a legend like Van Gogh after his time. People will respect him.
But this is the thing. I don't think they have enough for a full omnibus. I would have just said, hey, just do it in a compendium. A compendium sounds more reasonable for the 20 issues. It's 20 issues, guys. That would be a compendium for most series.
This is what it is, though. It exists to bilk the most amount of money out of that particular fan base that's going to give these Comicsgate guys money for ostensibly nothing. And I'll stand by that. Nothing in the sense that you don't get the books usually, maybe years later, or nothing in the sense of that, you're not getting anything new out of Dale. You're just getting reprints of stuff you can find. They had, what did they have? It was the first 10 issues of Pit at my comic book shop a few months ago. Because every now and again I'll look at the collections because they'll they'll polybag and tape together, a whole run of something or a collection of something like 1 through 10, 1 through 5, 1 through 20, or all of the original Hush run, and they'll collect it in the floppies of it, and slap a price tag on it. And I saw that for the first 10 issues of Pit. It was going for like $30.
You can get it right now.
Yeah.
You can get it right now instead of waiting
for $7. So
yeah. Tellum says, then do trade paperbacks broken down into the first 10. Yeah, she's not that. Keep in mind, Tellum, she's not that smart. This is the lady. When a lady runs a business.
There's only 20 issues.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing 5 issues, because
they're
going to be able to get $45 a pop for 5 trade paperbacks. That's their thinking. That's what they're doing, because there's no way in hell anybody's going to take 45 times 5, so that's like around $250, a little shy of $250 at the price point they're selling it at now for the whole thing. Nobody's paying that. Nobody.
They just want to.
Comicsgate is not paying that.
Yeah, but this
they
gives
get small chunks.
Yeah,
cheaper.
and she realized that this gives them 4 extended CG campaigns to just milk their audience, and then the potential omnibus if they ever even get to that point. But dude, by the time they ever even release the concept image for that omnibus, your kids will already be out of school. They'll be done.
Exactly.
They'll all be adults. They'll have their own kids at that point. They'll be like, Dad, you ever heard about that Pit omnibus? Like, son, yes, we were here talking about it when it was first released, first announced. That would be insane at that point. I'm actually going to track that. Your kids, that's a bet. Your kids will be out of school by the time that Pit omnibus ever comes out.
Dude, my kids will be out of school before John Malin finishes the first story arc for Godlike. My kids will be out of school before you get all 3 Rainbow the Brute comics and your action figures. Like, my kids will be graduating.
You know how trolly that is?
Kids will be here.
Oh, before we do the video, and we're going to head in the show. Do you know how trolly it was of Ethan? He didn't even finish the Rainbow the Brute comic book, but then added on a toy campaign for a book that was already 4 years late.
How else do you think he pays for it after he blows all of the cash he made on it?
Blows.
Blows. Well, yeah, blow. Yeah. Pizza at TJ's, BJ's after, and then lots and lots and lots of what I can only assume is cocaine with transvestites. So, I mean,
know what those skills. We know what
gambling.
We know what trans people can do to somebody after this past weekend. Holy fuck. They can apparently make someone yeet somebody off the planet with a sniper rifle.
I hope Ethan is being careful out there with who he chooses.
All right, let's go.
Within a parking lot these days.
All right,
I do mean it too. Stay safe, Ian.
All right, let's have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka and your mom's ass, and I'm gonna be pounding her pussy all night. Jokes. Those are jokes. It's not a real
totally
start.
Gonna get there, guys. Tonight it's WZ. It's gonna happen. Just wait.
All right. So
NSK is gonna hit it here.
NSK.
That's what WZ said. That's what we had to call you from now on. That was what the chat.
No, but let's make sure we actually have a real good clip for WZ. Dude, how long is your dick?
Mine or yours or WZ's? Are you talking to WZ?
I think you got 7 inches. Solid. Which is better than average. Because the average woman can only take 4 to 5 anyway.
Right here. Depends.
There you go, WZ.
Depends
that's
on
your
where
next
the lids
clip.
Are.
There you go. That's the next
I don't know if
that's
channel. WZ's next clip. He's waiting for something. He's probably going to get that shalom.
Dude, I'm very straight. I had sex with a girl
say
last
this
night.
Quite often. And like Eric is on point here. That girl's name was Tristan.
Tristana.
How's your girlfriend doing, actually? The one that buys you clothes. Where's she?
Oh
at?
no, you don't even want to hear what happened with she's a moron.
Oh, what's she do now?
Not what she
Too
did.
much teeth?
No. No, it's not. I'll have to explain it later. Women are just the worst, honestly.
She asked you to marry her?
Oh no, that I would never do that. I have standards. Marrying women apparently also is
just assume she's behind that door over there in the back. Good there. Lord. That's what it goes to. It goes to her side of the house.
All right. Let's have some good fun here. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about DC Comics cancels Red Hood series after writer celebrates Charlie Kirk's death. So there is a lot to go over in this video, and I want to start point by point so you guys can follow what we are going to be bringing up in this video. So we're going to start it off like this. Charlie Kirk, who was a YouTuber, podcaster. He was the founder of Turning Point USA, went around, the United States of America to college campuses and, debate and have good faith conversations with people he disagreed with for a while at this point, was very instrumental to getting Donald Trump elected because Charlie Kirk was very influential with the younger generation. And, I think it was on September 10th, it was the day of it happening where, whoa, hold on. What the fuck? You said read your last comment. Okay. Savitz, he doesn't run a comic shop. No. He just has a lot of comic shop. Okay, we'll go over that later at the end of the show. We'll go over that at the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll close on that one.
Yeah, okay. We're ready. Let's have some fun here. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about DC Comics cancels Red Hood series after writer celebrates Charlie Kirk's death. So, on September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk, the man who was the founder of Turning Point USA, loving husband, Christian, father of 2 kids, he tragically passed away by being assassinated by a man named Tyler Robinson. And Charlie Kirk, for those of you who don't know him, went basically around to college campuses all around the United States of America with the intention of just having open, good faith conversations with people that he might disagree with. Now, keep in mind, all of these YouTube shorts and TikTok clips and all the content that he would upload on Turning Point USA YouTube channel and his own YouTube channel resulted in him getting very, very popular. And he was very, very instrumental in getting Donald Trump elected, in my opinion, because keep in mind, this is what a lot of conservatives, in my opinion, fail to do. And it's the reason why they keep falling behind the Democrats, in my opinion, is they always talk down to the younger generation. And Charlie Kirk, he was debating this one stupid retarded bimbo. And she was like, oh, but you come to college kids and debate college kids. It's like, no. He's like, I'm not talking to college kids. I'm talking to voters who will decide the future of this country. Literally word for word what he said. He never talked down to the younger generation because he knew that they were essentially brainwashed by, you can say, public schools or universities or college campuses or maybe their upbringing. So he wanted to, kind of shed light on things that they just didn't know otherwise, because conservatives fail with the younger generation because they talk down to them, and automatically when you say things the way they do to people, they're never going to listen to you. They're automatically going to turn off anything you have to say. Charlie Kirk was not like that. He wanted to educate them and show them, hey, this is, something that you probably should look into. Maybe what you're being told is a lie, actually. So on September 10th, 2025, he was tragically assassinated, like I just pointed out a second ago. And then you have this right now with the DC comic book, series, which was Red Hood. So this was going to be a DC comic book Black Label series. So nothing in main continuity. It was already established. People don't know what that is. Black Label is essentially DC just having a separate universe for random shit that they don't put in the main universe. It could sell well. It could not. Doesn't really mean anything. They generally run like 5 or 12 issues minimum anyway, right? So they announced that we're going to do a Red Hood DC comic Black Label series, and it was going to be, I think, a limited series, so at the very minimum 5-10 issues anyway. And the writer that was announced on it was, this is the name, Gretchen Felker Martin, who is a Looney Tune. So there was another Looney Tune as a senior editor in DC Comics' company, and this person apparently wasn't fired during the whole Warner Brothers Discovery merger that happened back in like 2022, and it was like summer, right? So this person kind of just survived a big giant merger. So this other once straight man turned into a Looney Tune, hires his Looney Tune friend. Now, this person named Gretchen Felker Martin already had said something about Warner Brothers, debatably, arguably highest money earner, literally outside of Batman. This is what this person said about her. Now, this was on CBR. We're going to cover everything. I have all the receipts here. This is what this person said. Now, the senior editor, who's also a Looney Tune, said, I didn't know he said that. But I'll be honest here. I think he did. He just doesn't care because he probably doesn't
They
like
always
J.K.
know.
Rowling
They
either.
don't give a shit. Yeah, they just
But this is what Gretchen said about J.K. Rowling, who literally is the author of Harry Potter, Wizarding World, as they call it, for Warner Brothers, sells a lot of, merchandise for them. This is what Gretchen said about J.K. Rowling. I hope someone splits her skull. Literally what he said, word for word.
That would get you arrested in the UK right now. Like, seriously, you'd go to jail. You gave J.K. Rowling anxiety. Boom. Jail you go.
Now, also keep in mind, when this is going on currently right now, a lot of people are saying, but because they would say she, but I'm saying he. I'm not doing pronoun bullshit here. I don't do that. I talk in reality. Because they use this line of thinking that they didn't. Martin. So they use this line of logic that they didn't even apply to Gina Carano. So when Gina Carano was fired from Disney, they had said, but Disney's a private company. They can do whatever they want. You're just going to face the consequences of your own actions. Okay, if that's the line of logic you're using, and that's the playing field you're telling me, then that's fine here, right? People say, but that's right-wing cancel culture. No, it's not. Those are the rules you set up.
Well,
freedom of consequences of your action, right? So the consequences of this person's actions got them fired. I think that's fair. DC's a private company. They can do whatever they want.
They actually can't. So this is the thing about like a comment like that. Yes. And a lot of these people, so advocating for murder, crying out for more murder, like advocating for more conservatives be killed, advocating for murder, all the shit that these people have been saying. In the workplace, that could be considered making an unsafe workplace. People who advocate for murder, you don't know. As an individual employee, if you heard somebody next to you being like, yeah, I'm going to fucking kill my wife tonight.
Yeah, you actually can't do these things in normal
Well, you can't. Yes, you can't say that kind of shit at work. That's for one, this kind of stuff, saying shit like this. And they're not even saying it. They're going on TikTok, and you're not even getting just text every time. You're seeing it with some people, and the people that are actually filming it, they're even worse than the people just texting it, because you can tell all of the communication there. You're not missing anything. You can hear their tone of voice, the cadence with which they speak. You can see it in their face, how much they're crying out for more murder. But you don't even need just that. So the problem you have with this in the workplace is it is incumbent upon a workplace to maintain a safe work environment, period. This is OSHA. This actually goes outside of your HR department, and Legal Mindset had a great video on this. And I've been saying this the whole time. There's a stark difference between a political disagreement online, or even just saying that you don't believe there's more than two genders. That's a whole other fucking thing. That doesn't mean you're making an unsafe workplace. Crying out for the murder of people based on their political affiliation, like say you got a Trump supporter at work that hears somebody work like, yeah, and I hope they kill more conservatives. Like, you hear that at work, you should be going to OSHA immediately, because you are now in an unsafe work environment. They are actively calling for you as somebody with even maybe just
also,
a few.
I want to add to your point.
To be murdered.
I want to add to your point.
You can go to OSHA with that immediately. And well, hold on.
They're good.
So you have to go to the work. You go to OSHA. You report that. They have to maintain a safe work environment. And the real reason that these things are happening so quickly and so fast is because, one, OSHA makes them do it. They're fined if they don't. If they don't address these and they don't report back to OSHA that these things have been addressed in some way that is satisfactory, they face fines. All workplaces do. Doesn't matter if you're publicly traded, doesn't matter if you're a government workplace, doesn't matter if you're a private company or a small business. All of these things fucking apply to you. But on top of that, they already saw what happened to Bud Light. Big brands are very scared of this. Conservatives have been more successful protesting with their pocketbook than these idiots have been at burning down cities. We have made more change by simply not buying this shit than they could by burning down a city. And we've shown that. So to see this shit showing up in workplaces and Microsoft and the rest of these things, any companies, they're scared to death of it. But moreover, the other thing you can do is they only need a few employees to get together to file a class action lawsuit for an unsafe work environment. Same kind of shit can happen. And it applies. This all falls underneath OSHA. You get a few people together. You get a lawyer who's interested in effectuating this kind of shit, and they're going to do it. So the reason you're seeing this happen so quickly is simply there is an OSHA mandate to provide a safe work environment. Commentary like this is very indicative of the fact that you may be in danger in your workplace if you have conservative beliefs. It's the same reason that Eric July had to do that shit with Riley at his warehouse. It was incumbent upon him, because you don't know the mental state of this person in actuality, but they're giving you every indication that they are unstable. You have to act as an employer to keep your employees in a safe work environment. If you do not, you're open for nothing could happen at all. But if you don't maintain a safe work environment, right, you don't deal with shit like this, you're open for a lawsuit in a heartbeat. And Elon Musk will come a swinging into do it too.
I just wanted to add two points to your point, right? So the first point is, when people say those kind of things, you do realize even if a company's private, they still have to abide by, I don't know, the goddamn laws. You still have to abide by those
things.
There
are laws about these things.
Yeah, I don't know why people go, but it's a private company. They can do everything. You have to abide by the laws. You literally do. There's no private company is above any law. Like Disney literally lost to Gina Carano for discrimination. Yeah, you can't do that. So when anybody says this line of logic, like, it's a private company, that doesn't mean shit, honestly. They're not above anything. Like, you can do your own things privately in your own workplace, but you still have to abide by HR and a bunch of other things. This is how you can tell these people don't have jobs. Because if you have a job, you know this stuff. This is an orientation. You have your employees' rights. You have things that you can do. So you can call certain numbers if you have a toxic work environment. They literally have hotlines for that. They're like, I don't know why people think that you don't get these things, but this is the comic book industry, as they must always figure, because this is not the regular workplace industry.
So that's the thing, though. This is the thing, and this is why what Legal Mindset thankfully put out there, and he was very true about this, is that, in all honesty, you probably shouldn't be bothering with HR. You should go to OSHA directly about it. Find OSHA contacts online. You can find a ton of them, because HR may not give a shit. HR may ostracize you for it. HR isn't going to necessarily be anonymous, but OSHA will be. So if you see this shit going on in your workplace, or you see people that you work with in their social media, find Legal Mindset's video. If I had it, I'll look it up. I'll put it in the chat for everybody. But it is actually an OSHA guideline. It is a federal law. They have to maintain this shit. So, and they have to do it. Doesn't matter what industry you work in. It is no different for this dude working for, Warner Brothers or DC Comics or whatever, than it is for anybody else. So yeah, and it has to be, you have to have something legitimate, though. Like, you abuse this kind of shit and they will come back on you for it. OSHA will come back on you for it. So you do actually have to provide proof. You can't do these things willy-nilly. You should only be doing this in an instance where you can actually provide them with some sort of evidence of it.
And then we get further into, Red Hood #1 came out a few days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Tyler Robinson. And this was something that Gretchen put out on Blue Sky, because what we just talked about, J.K. Rowling and him having that threatening comment to her, he had already gotten suspended on Blue Sky already. And this was the comment that he had before the Charlie Kirk ones. And this person said, kept seeing people TW Red Hood #1 for suicide, and for the life of me, I could not figure out why until I remembered it opens with a bunch of cops shooting themselves. I just don't really consider them people.
Yeah, this is a very disturbed. This dude is like completely fucking disturbed. Like, this guy's going to end up with 41. This guy's going to end up one of the 41% on his own. And after getting nuked from this, and this is the thing, this person will probably never work in writing anything anywhere ever again. I know that people want to say that DC will bring him back, but that
no way.
I don't, with
not
all of the stuff,
other receipts that
with all the other receipts that have been coming out, they can't really bring them back. Like, even if everybody at DC agrees with them, everybody's paying attention to this shit now. And moreover, let's just be really fair. Most of this shit, like, is pretty, the shit that this dude's wrote has been lambasted by anybody who's read it. Like, if you look at like what people have to say about his writing, it's mostly dog shit.
Oh, and the other thing about Gretchen is he is a person that has posted on social media that he writes for queer audience. Okay, that's fine. You write for queer people. Sure, go ahead. But
yeah, he should go to a magazine that is geared toward that audience. Right there.
And I want people to understand it. There was like, I don't know how the hiring practice works at DC, but this person was essentially hired by another editor. And it's like, this is already a red flag, pun intended, Red Hood red flag. Why are you having a person that only writes for a queer audience writing on Red Hood, which should be skewing towards men of the ages of like 18 to 25 and older? Like that's already a bad combination anyway. But the other thing to bring up now is the stuff that went on with this right here. So these are the Charlie Kirk comments right here. So there's on Blue Sky where Gretchen had said, "Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch." And this is how you know this person is mainstreamed to hell. With anybody that disagrees with you is just a Nazi, fascist, alt-right, far-right, bigot, blah, 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 all the fucking words, right? But it's the second one that really does him in. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. You know, it's crazy, Gretchen. Charlie will actually be remembered for what he did in life, unlike you. Because you're probably in that like Looney Tune percent that'll probably off themselves in the next 10 years, honestly. But hey, you know.
And
what do you fucking what do I know about people? Charlie Kirk is now celebrated in the world despite all the hate he got too. You're not celebrated.
Charlie Kirk has his image being risen at protests in the UK for
in Korea,
South Korea, censorship too. In South Korea, in fucking Venezuela, dude, and shit. Like they in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if they started like as this was going on and this happened and the shit that went down in Nepal and everything. It's like you got they're reacting this violently and they're commenting this violently. They are turning to violence because they are losing. Their ideology is finally dying with the youth, and Charlie Kirk was the tip of the spear to do that here in America. That's why they hated him more than anything.
And then we have via Comics Journal. I actually saw this post on Facebook too. So I'm going to read the Discord messages first, and then I'm going to read the response here. So I know this is very small here.
Bro needs to work on some.
It won't matter if it's 200. Okay, so I'll just read it here for you. And anyone here can follow the link here. I'm not making this up. So this is the first message, what Gretchen said. It was surreal. I got a call from Warner Brothers. Sorry. It was surreal. I got a call from a Warner Brothers executive at 10:30 p.m. She yelled at me. Okay,
good.
So maybe there is.
How dare he gender that person?
Hey, I will say this. So maybe there is a different kind of culture change at DC. If he got called by the and yelled at, okay, because people have to understand, MSNBC that day fired one of their on-air anchors because he basically said the thing of like, I think in gangster movies when like a guy dates a sister from the rival guy's gang and he says this kind of line, it would be a shame if you kind of ended up in a ditch somewhere. He basically had words like that. He basically said the reason why Charlie Kirk got assassinated was, he kind of deserved it because he used hateful rhetoric. Yeah, so you're basically saying, that's the line that goes in like gangster movies. Oh, it'd be a shame if you got attacked walking home, So yeah, he got fired immediately after that because people have been paying attention because of Charlie Kirk's assassination. And yeah, like people were, oh my God, you could imagine the social media manager on DC Comics official Twitter page were getting ass scraped Diddy style with all the comments.
Oh, well, not even just that, dude. The executives were losing their shit because they saw what happened to Gina Carano and they're like,
no part of that.
we don't need the two conservatives here at Warner Brothers filing a class action lawsuit for unsafe work practices. Can we get the murderous psycho that'll probably deal with themselves later off our payroll?
And here's the other one.
There's so many risks at that point.
The person replies to her, okay, so he says they did very much want a groveling apology. Yeah. You're employed by them. They're giving you decent money for your level of skill, which is fucking worthless. Yeah, you better tell me.
Oh, sorry. Dude, an insane amount of money for being terrible. It's like hot garbage.
Hot ass.
I don't say this very often, but like Ethan Van Sciver is probably a better writer.
So Gretchen replies to this person, I hope you yelled at her so you can tell this person doesn't have a job. You don't like fucking hell. But Gretchen replies, I told her I wasn't going to apologize for calling a Nazi, that he'd spent his life trying to kill everyone I love.
See, this is why
I had no regrets. This is the problem.
Well, that's the core of it, dude. They're operating from this premise That is bullshit because they have no evidence, no receipts, no nothing that they can say Charlie Kirk ever tried to kill anybody or that he was a Nazi or any of the rest of it. And
He
frankly,
advocated for no violence
yeah,
constantly.
constantly he advocated for conversations. That was the thing. But this is the thing. What people like this believe, this whole like, oh, they're genociding us. What they think is genociding them is rational people saying, no, we're not going to let you do this to children anymore because they can't procreate. In fact, if they haven't physically castrated themselves, they've already chemically castrated themselves. They won't reproduce. Their ideology does die with them. And that's fine. That's great. That's going to be perfect. It's just unfortunately in the 20 years it's going to take before their numbers dwindle down to next to nothing, we have to deal with the chaos that ensues from it. And the first thing we do is we stem the tide of them doing this to children. That's what they think the genocide is.
But
they will conflate that into like they're actively trying to kill me. It's like, no, we're just not going to let you mutilate kids anymore.
But also, as to your point, it also comes down to being radicalized. This person genuinely thinks that if someone disagrees with a Looney Tune lifestyle, then that must mean that they want to kill all of us. That is borderline deranged. That's actually
it isn't borderline. It is actual derangement. This person actually is mentally ill. In any other time throughout history, this person would be in a mental institution. They would have. Somebody would have seen this thing on the internet. A family member would have said, "I need you to commit this person in my family. They've already mutilated their genitals. They already think they're another gender. Like, we need to put them in and get them some form of therapy."
Right here. This is what he says about Charlie Kirk. He spent his life trying to kill everyone I love. If you literally go and watch Charlie Kirk's videos when he talked to Looney Tunes, he was nothing but respectful to them.
Oh, yeah.
Ask them basic questions. If you can't answer basic questions on what is a woman, yeah, you're probably fucked up in the head.
Well, and that's the thing. They always end up turning to violence, even at the small scale. Verbally, maybe small, like they like to microaggressions. It's like micro physical aggressions. They'll throw something or they'll lose their shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. This is what happens to the mentally ill.
Also, this rhetoric of constantly calling someone a Nazi is something that I just can't stand anymore. If this person was on let's say like what we're doing right now, you know how they have those little interviews they do where they ask the very softball questions. If this person was asked, how could you describe Charlie Kirk as a Nazi? Guys, I bet my entire life savings in my bank account right now, this person couldn't answer the question. They literally couldn't.
I have an even better question for them than the inflammatory question of what is a woman. I would ask them, what is a Nazi? Like, can you explain that? Can you explain to me the tenets of Nazism? Can you tell me how the political party?
But then they'll say, but he was a fascist. But then I'll ask you, what fascist do you know that allows people to come up to a mic and have open dialogue and disagree? What fascist do you know exists like that? I don't know any fascists like that.
I would have them explain to me what a fascist is as well. Again, I would just go back to the part where they're trying to tell me he's a Nazi, and I'm like, could you even tell me, like, say, what the Nazi economic system was? Like, what was the economic system of Nazism? Can you tell me who actually controlled the means of production in Nazi Germany? Let's understand what Nazis were a little bit. Let's go there.
That's hateful rhetoric. You can't have that. It's hateful rhetoric, as what they call now.
It is. Explaining the facts of a scenario is definitely hateful rhetoric. Dude, the word Nazi doesn't even fucking mean anything anymore. It
basically goes down to like, it's like the word grifter. It's anyone I disagree with is insert grifter or a Nazi. That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And here was the other follow-up to that. So Gretchen Felker Martin on Red Hood being canceled after his remarks about Charlie Kirk. This was a quote from him. It's not me, guys. It just didn't strike me as an It just didn't strike me as an especially hot flashpoint. He said, "This is such a loathsome person." What? Not the Looney Tune who wants to whatever. Everyone on the internet is talking about how pleasant it is that he got his. No, only
just insane people.
There's literally deranged people who celebrate someone getting openly assassinated think that way. No, not everyone.
Deranged people who think mutilating children's genitals is just like fine. It's a matter of consent.
I saw that he had died in the middle of spreading more of the bigotry that he spent his every waking moment promulgating. What? the
promulgating.
fuck? No, not that. It's just so good lord, good lord. So this is how you know self-awareness does not exist with these people. This person said Charlie Kirk spent his whole life spreading bigotry. Okay, even though that's objectively a fucking lie, let's just say it's true, just for argument's sake. What are you doing when you go on Blue Sky and you say that J.K. Rowling deserves to have her head split, and then that cops aren't people? What are you doing in that context? I love how it only applies one way, where if like they do something, it's morally righteous and great and it's all celebrated. But if someone else does it, it's hateful, it's bigotry, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and murder is completely moral. Murdering people for words is the moral high ground for them. Murdering people who disagree with them is the moral high ground for them. And it doesn't matter who you are. Murderers and rapists being allowed on the street, that's the moral high ground for them. Depending on their skin color, that's the moral high ground. Child rapist being ignored, that's the moral high ground for them.
And in a way that he had advocated for others to die, it's never happened. It's just factually a lie. And felt nothing but contempt for his life. This is just all lies. I implore you people to
it's just all bullshit.
This is just bullshit. I mean, this is a man who I watched for years go on television and
he's never watched him ever before.
Yeah.
Not once.
And on enormous stages and convention halls and say that me and everyone like me should be stoned to death. This never happened. Ever. This is like
MSK saying he's going to go have sex with his wife right now.
But that's true. That's not spreading lies. That's spreading truth. What am I? Good lord, this person is.
They're delusional. That's the thing. They are actively delusional. They should be in a hospital. There are no asylums to take them anymore, though, dude. This is what that 41% statistic about is. There is nobody giving them help. We only feed into them, and what happens? They get more manic. They get more insane. They get more convinced of their own delusions, and their delusions tell them that murdering is okay because you're trying to kill me because you disagree with me. You disagree with me, so you're trying to kill me.
I brought a receipt because people have said, MSK, Charlie Kirk said stoning. No, he did not. This is what he said in 2019? 2019, that's what he said. I believe marriage is one man, one woman. Also, gay people should be welcome in the conservative movement. As Christians, we are called to love everyone. I will always stand against people who wish to establish their own personal values as a reason to kick others out. Does he sound like a hateful bigot when he opened with also gay people should be welcome? Wow. This hateful person said
if anything, a lot of conservatives gave him shit over stuff like this. But yes, he did say that he was probably one of the biggest names in the movement to ever openly say that gay people should be welcomed into the conservative movement, even after Trump was already president and even after MAGA had already taken over and didn't give a shit. But that's the thing. These people, this person is very likely doesn't understand the difference because they don't even know who Charlie Kirk is beyond him being a conservative and a Christian. And that's the thing. That's the reason why these people are so dangerous in the workplace. And you do need to call OSHA if you hear this shit going on. These people are very likely to kill you. Very, 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 very likely. Statistically, they are willing to harm themselves. They already
did.
They're already mentally harming themselves, physically harming themselves, chemically harming themselves. Mm-hmm. They are doing things that are actively detrimental to their long-term health because of the malady they are suffering from, and they will continue to do that. They will take out their manic nature on themselves and potentially you. It doesn't just make people suicidal, and the shit that they get on the way these things begin affecting their mind. Is it quiet?
No,
there we go.
Fine. It was you were
better.
You were making a rippling sound.
Oh, sorry, I was like grabbing at it. But so this is the thing. In order to maintain your own safety in the workplace, you do need to report these people and do something about it. And it's a very good thing that a lot of people out there are seeing the most crazy of them and reporting it, because these people who are actively clamoring for it now will be the people. So, you go look at it and you start to see, like, the Quartering's been reporting on a lot of these tweets and a lot of the conversations that people who had clear advanced knowledge of this, they found at least 6 other trans people who had advanced knowledge
That won't
that
surprise
this
me
was
at
going
all.
to happen. No, that it's very likely that this had something to do with Antifa, because the furry transgender boyfriend of the shooter had tons of ACAB Antifa Discord messages are starting to come out from this person, because they're investigating that person now and apparently 6 others. You're going to see probably the FBI wind up cracking down on Antifa organizations pretty heavily. Hopefully they should be coming after them hard as they went after the mob, if not harder.
He does, however, concede that under these circumstances, quote, I can only put it down to really just a moment of poor impulse control. This is just a lie. It's not just a one moment kind of thing. This is
no, it was
lie.
well. We've seen what 3 or 4 tonight alone.
Yeah, one
Calling
time
for murder.
One time thing. I just said J.K. Rowling should have her head split open. Yeah, that's because that's also it's normal things that most people say, right? Fucking weirdo. Had I thought for another second, of course, I would have known that it would be a problem for DC. And naturally, as soon as I had said it, I did know. I'm done. What a deranged.
They're just a lunatic. They need to be in an asylum.
That's lunatic behavior. That's actually just straight up.
It is that this person is actually a threat and a danger to people out in the world. This person's just walking around, and the best you can hope for is that they're more upset with themselves than they are people out in the public. And this person doesn't end up. There is no difference between this person, this dude here, and the boyfriend of the quote. I don't know which way it was moving its parts, but no different between that person associated with the shooter and this person here at DC. None. Same ideology, same beliefs, same desire in their heart to murder
same
people.
Fear that anyone who disagrees with their horrible, disgusting lifestyle is just a Nazi, alt-right, fascist.
It isn't even a fear. It's how they justify
political violence
themselves. It's how they justify political violence. It's how they justify their own rightness. It's how they seek validation from others, because that's what other people tell them. This is the problem with groupthink and communism. They all end up working on top of a false premise that breaks down into mostly insanity and violence.
So, new Batman spinoff canceled amid intense controversy.
Wow,
intense
that's a pretty chic title. Talk about a massive understatement.
Intense. On the very day its debut issue hit shelves, DC abruptly pulled the plug on its new mature Red Hood series, canceling all future orders and issuing refunds to retailers for the first issue. The decision.
I saw that book on the shelf too. Nobody bought it. I went to the comic shop.
I knew who this person was because I watched Thinking Critical's video on this person. I was like, I'm not buying that just out of principle alone. I knew it existed. I just wasn't going to buy it out of principle alone.
I bought the new Punisher though. I picked that up.
I did buy that. Yes.
I thought Marvel gave up on it.
Well, yeah.
I'm almost afraid to read it, actually.
But it's red band, so there's gonna be at least blood in it, at least.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get some good classic Frank Castle shit, but I don't trust Marvel. But the cover was cool, so I picked it up.
The decision comes amidst the publisher's response to social media posts made by the writer of the series, following controversial social media comments by Gretchen Felker Martin concerning the assassination of American Christian political activist, author, and media personality Charlie Kirk. It's crazy. He wasn't anything super political, though. In my opinion, he wasn't even a politician. He was just a YouTuber turned podcaster turned.
I mean, he was definitely a conservative Christian. He did not hide that at all, but like he was like Tim Pool level of milquetoast almost. He went on Tim Pool a shit ton. That's how milquetoast he was.
DC announced the cancellation of their Red Hood series, a spinoff of the currently delayed Batman Hush 2 storyline. Good Lord. You know how much of a disaster that is.
That hasn't even... How are they doing a spinoff of it? They haven't even finished that shit yet.
Do you know what's crazy? They haven't even ended Hush 2 and Batman #1 by Matt Fraction's already out. Like, what the fuck is this company doing? That means this company knew Jim Lee wasn't shit as far as like getting shit done on time. The series was planned as DC's first ongoing Black Label imprint comic comic aimed at mature readers. While still existing in mainstream continuity, it was set to follow Red Hood and fellow anti-hero Huntress as they teamed up outside Gotham, operating beyond Batman's influence in the city of New Angelique? Angelique?
They just keep making up Gotham suburbs.
Yeah. Good Lord. DC announced the cancellation of the series in a statement sent to retailers late on September 10th, 2025. So literally the day of Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. Quote, DC Comics cancels existing orders for Red Hood number 2 and Red Hood number 3 and any orders for future issues of the series. DC Comics will credit retailers for all invoice copies of Red Hood number 1, inclusive of copies that may have already been sold. When contacted for further elaboration concerning the cancellation, DC responded, and I quote, "At DC Comics, we place the highest value on our creators and community." That's in major quotations. I'm just going to point it out.
I would imagine.
And affirm the right to peaceful individual expression of personal viewpoints. Post or public comments that can be viewed as promoting hostility or violence are inconsistent with DC standards of conduct. Even go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's some straight up bullshit. Like, didn't Disney straight up apologize for what
This is Warner
Gina
Brothers.
Carano said? No, I'm just saying, like in general in Hollywood, like they tried to say that not even milk toast, like benign comment that Gina Carano said at Disney, they like apologized on her behalf practically, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but
like they made a big old apology about it, and like DC can't say DC can't even just be straightforward with the who, the what, and what was said and actually apologize for it. That's why I'm saying like people should just be right now. You should be protesting DC Comics until they make a real fucking apology for it, because that isn't an apology. That's just some fucking corporate mumbo jumbo jargon.
Is this person already had their Blue Sky account suspended earlier this year, and this person was allowed to be on a book.
No, this is the thing. This is why I was saying beforehand that you can't just like go to HR. There's a lot of institutional capture in corporate America today. You have to go to OSHA and you have to make your complaint when you're dealing with this kind of thing. And in all honesty, there are a lot of HR departments that are probably smart enough to know that, and that's why this shit's happening so quickly, because people aren't necessarily making it all the way to OSHA, because OSHA costs the company money.
Well, it was just so
that
crazy.
Starts happening, they're done.
Well, it's just so crazy that you get to this last statement where it's like, be viewed as promoting hostility or violence.
No, okay. That's absolutely. That's the other thing that was the other thing that pissed me off about it. It's like
this person already showed that with the J.K. Rowling comments. So why would they allow?
They have multiple times called for violence. It isn't that could be seen as. It's that they actively were calling for violence and celebrating violence.
They say hostility, right? This person said he doesn't even view cops as people. How can that not be viewed as hostility?
Exactly. And what's even worse than that is that DC Editorial already let that go through. DC Editorial put the first issue out. Like, and I get, and maybe that's why they were letting them get refunds for the first issue as well, because they probably figured, oh, fuck, we printed this. A bunch of cops committing suicide on the first page of a comic. We printed this in 2025 today. It's like back when what was it? When was it Wolverine 121, and Marvel let slip a Jewish racial slur that starts with a K. I don't want to nuke your channel on YouTube for it, but they let that slip in an issue of Wolverine. He called Sabretooth one too, which I found.
Oh my god!
Like that. Wolverine was saying that about Sabretooth, or what? No, was that right? I'd have to look up again. I'm pretty sure it was Wolverine saying it about Sabretooth, and I'm just like, wow. Okay. Well, what was funny is that all retailers were supposed to tear the page out of the book and throw it out, and I managed to get 2 copies of it before the retailer threw it out, because as soon as I saw that shit, I'm like, I'm going to buy this. This is going to be worth some money. And it was. I sold one of them. Probably about 5 years later, I got $150 for it. So I made a good turnaround. I sold the second one, in all honesty, not that long ago. Maybe before I bought this house. Maybe it probably was then, but I think I only made like $40 on it or something. So it wasn't worth nearly as much, but it was worth more than I paid for it. So
even before the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk, Felker Martin's Red Hood series struggled with reception, earning mostly negative ratings on sites like League of Comics Geeks, where it holds just 2.5 stars.
All of this person's writing has been trash. Look at any of it. It's hot garbage. It makes Dan Slott look like fucking Chuck Dixon, for fuck's sake.
Criticism largely focused on claims that the series regressed Jason Todd's hard-won development, with many expressing frustration that his characterization felt like a step backward. Well, yeah, this person would be antithetical to everything Jason Todd
probably just made Jason Todd a gay cop murderer. That'd be my guess.
Fans noted this portrayal conflicted with the growth Jason Todd experienced in Chip Zdarsky's recent Batman run, as the character reverted to his Batman-hating, morally gray persona, still bitter over Bruce not killing the Joker. Yet, with the cancellation of Red Hood, any debate over Jason's direction in the series has ultimately become moot. The Black Label Red Hood series
there was only one issue.
Canceled. The Black Label Red Hood series has been officially canceled by DC Comics. I mean,
for all intents and purposes, you could say it never existed. You don't even have to retcon that shit. You just
say it was a random one shot.
Yep. You don't even have to say that. You could say you can wholeheartedly say the book basically doesn't exist anymore. You can just cut it out of canon altogether and be done with it. And that's nothing this person has ever written. Like, I don't think that this person probably writes again, except for maybe some television network or gay political magazine. I don't know, but I don't think anybody picks them up in comics because they'll never sell. They're kind of the Dylan Mulvaney of the comic book space.
But before we head out of this video, I want to ask you this. Don't you find it very unsettling and weird that we've seen all of these people out themselves over Charlie Kirk's assassination? Like, he had a lot of love, and he was loved by a lot of people, and that's great, and I like the guy too. But to see this many people celebrate his death this way, as if like that doesn't make them look insane or the most crazy people on this planet, is disgusting. Like, a bunch of people, even willing to risk their jobs, hated this guy. That's how you knew he was popular and made an impact on people, whether it be good or negative. He did impact people in a way where they're actively celebrating his death. Dude, I've seen people disgustingly talk about his wife. Dude, you watch his videos. He never had his wife front and center in anything. Dude, I'll be honest, I didn't even know she had a Twitter account. I didn't know her name until like...
Yeah, neither did I. Dude, I didn't realize she was apparently like Miss Arizona or some shit. Like,
yeah, she was this Christian pageant girl, like Charlie Kirk got gift wrap. Good Lord. But it's weird how they want her gone. Like, I've seen people literally say,
"Oh yeah,
why don't we take out her?" That's disgusting. She did nothing wrong.
I saw this video where this evil cunt was having her two daughters say this like fucking.
I saw that recent one.
Yeah, I was like, no, I couldn't watch that shit, dude. I was like, fuck, man. I don't advocate for CPS usually, but like somebody needs to like investigate that woman because her daughters are gonna end up doing some shit, man. Like it's so fucked. But no, am I surprised? No, not at all, dude. This is the inevitable. This is what the left has been doing. This is the thing. This is just kind of like the latest. This is a high point. This is a peak. This is a pretty visible far up there one, but the left has been trending this way for a decade. And this is the way the left always trends. Every revolution they tried to institute is always done in violence and bloodshed. That's what they do. That's what they believe in. And those who are most indoctrinated in it, they are the most violent. They are the ones who aren't going to hide it. And they're not anymore. They're actively calling for the death of people like you or I. You know, the only reason that Charlie got targeted wasn't even necessarily just his reach, is that he was actively defeating them at their own game in the schools, going to colleges with the youth. There is no one in the conservative movement that had the effect on the youth that Charlie Kirk was having. And that's what they killed him for. That's what he became the biggest target for. Other people out there who did exactly the kind of things Charlie was doing, like had Steven Crowder not had a pretty close scare, he did it before Charlie did. The change my mind shit.
He toned it down because he said, from what I watched, that he was getting death threats on a level that were just massive, and he just toned it down.
Yeah,
because he was being too unhinged on him.
Well, he couldn't do it anymore. And then he had kids, and now he won't do it anymore. He has children, and he's not willing to sacrifice because he knows they will kill him. I mean, hell, he's had more than one occasion where he actually caught people at his Change My Minds trying to sell weapons that were to get in there. Like, he had Quarter Black Garrett film that shit once. Like, Quarter Black Garrett actually caught somebody actively trying to get weapons into one of the events.
And
that
this
he
is
was
all
having.
just
Like,
over disagreements on
words, disagreements. Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. If you disagree with them, you're providing a voice outside of their echo chamber, and you're providing facts, and you're showing where their ideology fails, and their ideology is all they are. They don't have anything else. They don't have families because they've excised them, unless they come from a family this shitty, like your Greta Thunbergs of the world and shit. They have friends, but their friends are just people who live in this echo chamber with them. And the second those friends like disagree or be like, I don't know about that. You know, I kind of wish I had more of my own paycheck.
But they want everyone around them to just validate them. No
yes. Well, that's
questioning.
because
No questioning on anything.
Yeah,
Just validation.
no questioning nothing. You just validate whoever they are, regardless of the shit they do. Are they doing heroin at 3 a.m. Before they go in for their first shift?
Hey, they're smoking
job or something?
pot
Yeah.
around their kids. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. You know, they're getting blackout drunk every single night in front of their infant, as opposed to feeding it. Like, you know,
That's why these people are going to end up failing, because their constant need for validation ruins them. The instant gratification and constant validation. It's crazy.
And that's what the internet is for. That's why they all live there so much.
It's crazy because Charlie Kirk, from everything I watched, you know, was just mostly wanting to have conversations with people he disagreed with. He wanted to have conversations with these people, and that got him assassinated. So they don't want to have open dialogue with people that disagree with them. Because you've seen it. A bunch of people have constantly said, "Well, he just pushed hate-filled rhetoric." What? But you don't when you call him a Nazi? How does that even work?
You don't when you advocate. Like literally, what I find even more funny is that they don't see the advocation of murdering him and his wife, even his children, like all these things that they keep saying, like that's like the most hateful, y'all. Like the murdering thing, that's where you've gone like from like political discourse to actual like you have you are unhinged. You have a mental problem. You actually should be in a hospital receiving treatment, but unfortunately, we don't have any asylums for you anymore.
Make asylums great again. That's what. Yeah, and then the last thing I'll say before the video's over is, it gets to this point now where I'm glad a lot of people have finally started to notice a lot of this is so seeped into education, universities, entertainment at this point now where, these people are finally showing themselves with who they really are. I will say this right now. You people that use this line of logic that goes like this, but he deserved it because if he was spreading bigotry, he kind of deserved it. Okay. If that's your line of thinking, I don't agree with it, but let's just say this. Remember that argument you gave me, which was like, the girl doesn't deserve to get raped because she's wearing a revealing outfit? Because that's the same logic that a rapist gives for why he raped a girl. She was wearing it, so she was kind of asking for it. Do you agree with the rapist? Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know.
Well, they do. That's the thing. It depends on the skin color and the political affiliation of the rapist.
Are they the rapist in that scenario? Because if you don't agree with her getting raped by what she was wearing, then this would apply the same. I'm saying in that scenario, you become the rapist. Just saying.
Yeah, well, their logic has always been faulty. Their entire premise of leftism and collectivism and everything else depends on the idea. Their ideal is that they have an inherent human right to your labor, to my labor. That's the same kind. That is the same kind of mental gymnastics and ideology that would find slavery to be perfectly fine, because they have an inherent right to those people's labor as well. It's no fucking different.
So I'll get your final.
That's why they created it.
I'll get your final thoughts and opinions on this before we head out. What is your final thoughts and opinions on just everything?
Well, in all honesty, like let's see, they should have been shit canned over the J.K. Rowling comment, and then somehow, and this is how you know that like all this was a very quick PR move for DC. The very first issue, very first page of the book is a bunch of like literally like 20 cops committing suicide from a writer that says, "Oh, I didn't even consider them people." Like that. Once upon a time, not even in Jim Starlin's fucking era, like the fucking Tom DeFalco's era at Marvel or anywhere at DC, would have ended a book and ended a career. You would be on a blacklist in all of New York, which is where all the comic companies used to be. That was the thing. You would have been completely lambasted out of the company and out of the business.
Dude,
you'd be on
they
Indiegogo.
fired, what's his name? The guy who did Immortal Hulk's art. Oh my god. The guy who Eric July hires constantly.
Oh yeah.
Now. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Joe Bennett. Is it Joe Bennett?
Yes, Joe Bennett. Yep.
Joe Bennett was fired because of let's say anti-Semitic imagery.
They said it was anti-Semitic. I mean, that's questionable. That wasn't even done in the U.S. He did that in Brazil.
Yeah, imagine that. He got canned for something that he did in another fucking country. Absolutely crazy. So, as you guys know, for me, I wasn't gonna buy that series at all, even putting on my pull list, because I saw what they had said about J.K. Rowling anyway, and I just didn't want to support that as a principle. Yes, I can separate the art from the artist, but when it's that serious, I can't. I just wasn't gonna celebrate that principle alone. I just can't do that. Also, anyone that is celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, you're a piece of shit. And pointing out, you agree with the grapists in my analogy. If that's your line of thinking,
they're murderers and rapists themselves, and child predators. The vast majority of them keep getting caught with shit on their hard drives. So we'll just go with that, and just hope that the 41%, the law of the 41%, saves us all from this in about 20 years and clears it up.
Yeah, because statistics show that these people are all gonna off themselves at some point anyway. I'm just saying, Looney Tune ideology is a sickness, and if you truly believe you're something that you're not,
self-incriminating one too.
Yeah, and I'll just say that in the video off, if you truly believe you're something that you're not born as, I think you're insane. I think you are mentally deranged and you need help, honestly. And get away from people that are constantly validating you. Oh no, you should just no. Just get away from that. Validation is disgusting when it comes from those people, because they, I don't know, don't have your best interest at heart. I do, because I will tell you.
Nope.
This is not what you should be doing. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to be signing out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace. Good Lord. Before you go, your mic was bouncing. I was like, what?
I think it was moving a bit. That's why I was trying to get close over here. There we go. It move if I grab it to like move it sometimes, because I'm like,
oh, God. Oh, it's fine. It wasn't a problem at all. All right, so before you head out, anything you got coming up that you would like to let the audience know about? Any shows?
Let's see. I've got Batman Day this coming Saturday with Laps Comic Fan.
That Cloud Chaser? God damn.
Yeah, on Saturday morning or Saturday sometime he's doing a Batman Day thing, so he's got a stream for that. We're at some point going to finish, or not finish, but do another part of the Kyle Rayner review. I might actually have to go back and reread some of it at this point. What else do we have coming up? I kind of, once I get done with this current set of Conan comic books that I'm reading, I might sit down and actually have a little bit of a conversation about Titan Comics' take on Conan. It's been so fucking good, dude. Like, it's just this good, great, simple, heroic guy, saves the girl, gets into lots of fights with dudes. Like, it's not, you're not overthinking shit. You've got bad good guys, bad guys, good guys. It is just classic in its simplicity, and it still tells a great story though. Like, it's this good, simple, high fantasy, brawler. Tales of manly men conquering womanly women and all this shit that, it's good. It's cathartic. It's just like, I can just read this and be immersed in what's going on here, and it's great. I love it. So I kind of want to have a long boxing where I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be episode 2.5.
I don't get it. I don't get it. This numbering makes no sense. This numbering is
I'll probably have that coming up. Besides that, I think I'll be back on Make Me a Sandwich this week. If there's going to be an episode, I don't know. In the wake of Charlie Kirk, it's I haven't really wanted to get into talking about it a whole lot. Like last week, I was really pissed off. I tried doing a show on Friday. I was like my driving show. I just ended up being pissed after I, kind of was done or near done, trying to finish up, and I just got really pissed off. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I just kind of cut the rest of the week out. I think a lot of people are a little mixed up in our sphere. I mean, like that, we know people that are like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Charlie. So it does hit close for some people, because at the end of the day, like any one of us could be just as targeted as he was, just because we don't have a million followers.
And just because
it's simply because we speak openly. Yeah, we speak our opinions, and we could be just as easily targeted as Charlie was, like anybody who's out here in public, with like these lukewarm fucking takes like you and I have. None of it's even as poignant as a Steven Crowder or a Ben Shapiro or somebody.
With the
exactly. Well, that's the thing. They shot a guy in the head for wearing a fucking MAGA hat. All they'd have to do is, like, we didn't even have to be in a MAGA hat. You just have to run into somebody who recognizes you from some stream they saw offhanded once because they picked it up in the algorithm after watching
debate. Like, they can't have open
Charlie
conversation.
Kirk show. Yeah,
they can't have open conversation. They have to murder.
They may just attack you, and it's like, I know a lot of people are there are a lot of people who are really frustrated and really want to do it. There are a number of people I know who are also kind of just like, is it worth it? And maybe it better be better that I rededicate myself to something else, doing something more, doing something different. So I'm not like leaving streaming or anything. I do have fun with it, but I'm probably gonna. I don't know. I've been having a hard time keeping up with shit in general, anyways. You know that, so.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to figure some other things out in life first, so I'm going to be focused on that most. But I'm probably going to keep at least. Yeah, I wish it was.
You got that new job you wanted. I remember that.
There's much you've missed out on, sir. But
what happened to you? You old now, apparently.
Well, I've been old, and you see, I have glasses. I'm surprised the chat hasn't said anything about me wearing glasses. I thought some shit was going to come up on that.
Are you going to become Stevie Wonder in the next 20 years?
No.
Okay.
I just need them. Like, if I sit back pretty far, like, and I hadn't noticed it really a lot, like, I always just figure my eyes are dry at night, but it does actually help for anything that's like further than an arm's reach. It does make it a bit clearer. Like, I can still see just fine. It's just that these make it even sharper. So I don't have to strain as much.
All right. So I think next Sunday we're supposed to be doing Phenomenova #1. I think we're supposed to do that. I think
finally. Shit, we could do 1 and 2 in the same night if we did it early enough.
I don't even know where 2 is. I mean, I don't even know where it's at. I've only seen one.
It's under your bed that doesn't exist. You know where it is? You know where it is? It's in that TV box over there. I bet you go open it up, it's going to be in there.
#1 is right there. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know where the fuck #2 is. That's buried in packages at this point.
I thought the point where you're pointing at right now, I thought is where you were going to put that TV stand that doesn't exist. So, I swear to God, I'm going to pay you and James to fucking build that in your damn room. I want that stream so bad. The sequel to the computer stream needs to happen. Everybody in the chat wants this.
Yeah, so next Sunday we'll probably just knock out Phenomenova #1, unless
it sounds good. Vaughn will be happy.
I don't like, but Vaughn's white, so I have an eternal hatred for that kind of person. Not for any reasons. It's just race related. That's how it works. I
thought it was the other race that you didn't like.
Oh, no. I legit hate black people. I think they're the worst race. Okay. I'll do it for you. Rank me these 4 races. Asians, Mexicans, whites,
racists, or races?
Okay. Rank these ethnicities. Asians,
rank them Mexicans. At what?
Just rank them. White, Mexican, Asian, black.
Are we talking about cuisine? Like, I don't know. Like, individually, it's
impossible. No, just everything. No, whites, blacks, Mexicans, Asians.
Yeah, but see, I'm an individualist. So I can't really. Now we want to talk about. Are we talking about cuisine? Are we talking about the strength of their culture over time? Like where are we going here?
No. I'm just saying the whole package, everything. Rank them.
The whole package.
The whole package.
That's impossible, dude. It's just.
Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah, but black would be at the bottom of your list. It's everyone's bottom.
It depends. What are we talking about?
Everything.
I don't know about that, man. I've been to Atlanta. So the best food I've ever had while traveling is in Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mexican food?
Nah, dude. Southern fucking soul food, dude. Fucking peach cobbler, fucking fried chicken, fucking fish and grits. Like,
So if you're
nah,
going
dude.
off impact of the world, people. I'm gonna ask this as a question to Iron Stream. Rank these 4 ethnicities based off everything.
Yeah, you should go on Iron Stream and do that.
Oh my god, that thing is loud when you hit the thing. Good lord.
Oh, I was moving this plug off of it.
Good lord. I think it might be loose. Like the actual railing might be loose.
No, it isn't that even that the railing's loose. It's just that like
Oh, okay.
it doesn't. If I had it in one of those, if I had like the whole mic in one of those little things that anti-vibrates, when you hit this, then it would go away. I just don't have one of those springy anti-vibration cages yet. Eventually.
So, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show. I will be back here later tomorrow. I'll just be playing League at some point, and then we have the MSK show, 7 p.m. PST. I did a double feature for you guys today. Two episodes of the MSK show, one with John's Longbox, another one-on-one, and then we had this because I was factoring into myself. We wouldn't have enough time to cover this week coming up because there's so many other things I have to get to. So, yeah, you guys are awesome, and we'll